Hey, guess what? We're live.
Oh, hey, it's just the Sky Kid. It's Wednesday night. I was being a whale. And we're at the B&B. And for your listening pleasure, all the way from Stevens Point, is the Punk Rocketeer. Thank you. Take it away. Woo!
How many roads can a man walk down? How many murders can he commit? He locks his victims in cages and kills them in their sleep, and they'll applaud him for it. And if you ask me how I'm doing, I will say no angrier than usual. This awful app line breaks by everything and everything you do. It's a little consequence, just by current events. The world is fucked, and so are you. How many lies can one man tell before no one believes the lies? Just when you think he's gone too far, his face will sweep and they may have to think his greatness realized. And if you ask me how I'm doing, I will say no angrier than usual. Cause I will have my embraced by everything and everything you do. It's a little consequence, despite current events. The world is fucked. If science is a fiction and religion is a fact, but love your fellow man just isn't how you act. You're quick to shout all lives matter, but only in defense of blue and white lives. Cause you're all fucking hypocrites, and if you ask me how I'm doing, I will say no angrier than usual. Cause I will have life embraced by everything and everything you do. It's a little consequence, despite current events. The world is fucked. Embrace it out of luck. Now the world is fucked, and so are you.
Hoot! Hoot!
What you mean?
Just like all folk punks that live and die by a capo. This song's called The Weapon. Way back in 1945, Dr. Graham is sitting in his chair, thinking about the weapon he's creating, all the while his son is sitting here. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. The man there introduces himself as then. Dr. Graham invites him in and offers him a drink, but the man politely declines. I want you to stop what you're doing. You're going to hurt millions of people. And if you don't believe me, then wait until you see. It's like giving a child a gun. Dr. Graham just installed into the US science. Leaving action if he thinks we're ready. Dr. Graham says he thinks understands my point of view. He even gets up and asks about those streaks. Dr. Graham gets up and goes to make it down. Even goes to say goodnight to Graham's kid. Yeah, it's been so quick! Even says, I hope that you don't mind my favorite little boy of crap! I want you to stop what you're doing. It's going to hurt millions of people. And if you don't believe me, then wait until you see. It's like giving a child a God. Woo! Oh yeah! How many weapons can we make? How many different forms of genocide can we create? How many times must we learn that if we're going to play with fire, we'll get burned? I want you to stop what you're doing. You're going to hurt millions of people. If you don't believe me, then wait until you see. It's like giving a child a gun. It's like giving a child a gun. It's like giving a child a gun.
Whales clap too.
Whales clap too. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm the punk rocketeer, and I'm a punk rock supervillain. If the establishment is good, then I don't want to be a part of it. I'd like to mastermind a scheme to isolate and kill the heart of it. I starve it, burn it, maim it, rather wise to great harm. I wanna see everyone out there now. We all know who's done it! Cops killing people like it's going out of style. They just pouring bloody like it keeps them alive a while longer. All I want to know is why. Stop police stations have turned this country to the front lines. I want to report to the nation. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, punk rock super villain. Who ever heard of good guys that drop my back? Who ever heard of good guys who raise themselves to a horde of zombies on them to the teeth and courage violence? Our people in the streets are good. And every last of the shoots that shoots faster than you did. Just caught me monologuing again. I want to rain all of these good guys by settling. Check the death, fight and fight, fight and fight. I'm always fighting one night who thinks they're good, right? It's the brightest light. And there's some, I gotta buy this hungry second life. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, I don't want to be good. If the establishment is good, then I don't want to be good. Oh, I'm never going back to Cleveland. No, I'm never going back to Cleveland. Never going back to Cleveland. Please don't take up the life. And if I ever see you again, it'll be too soon. Just hearing your name makes me want to count my days. That's possible. Meeting you makes me better. But given the chance, I take everything back. And now I'm never going back to Cleveland. No, I'm never going back to Cleveland. Never ever going back to Cleveland. Please don't take my fucking life. And if I ever see you again, it'll be too soon. Just hearing your name makes me want to bow my head. It's possible, needing you make me better. But given the chance, I take everything back. And now I'm never going back to Cleveland. No, I'm never going back to Cleveland. No, never ever going back to Cleveland. No, please don't take a fucking life. Right!
Good.
Oh, that's not what I'm doing next. Sorry. I live and die by the capo, but I also have to remember which songs use it. This song is called Rat King. It's it's a favorite. I just want to point out, though, that it's only meant to perpetuate the message that you shouldn't be creeped to women. It has a lot of very unfair stereotypes about rats. So forgive me.
Aww.
Yeah. Lucky bachelor number 1 fancies himself a cowboy. His idea of a first date is taking nice long walks with his big strong gun. Threatening protesters are some of his turn-ons. Bachelor number 2 is the smartest in the room. He could take away all the stress of being your own person, tell you how to think and feel, what is fake and what is real. Probably best in what he does to girls who think for themselves. Come on ladies, won't you give him a chance? If you just try it, well, I think you're free. You can be your red king, baby. You could get so tangled up in each other, and it's collection of garbage is yours. Oh, what more could you ask for? He could be your red king, honey. You could completely invest each other, dance like marionettes in the moonlight. He'll provide you with all of his love, yeah, with all of his love. Bachelor number 3 is simply put a tragedy. Poor bastard been a bachelor for his whole life. He sure as hell is blaming everyone except himself. Why can't women see the proper gentleman he is inside? Come on ladies, how can it be so hard? It's a very double score, just pour it out there. You're rocking, baby. You could get so tangled up in each other, and his collection of garbage is yours. Oh, what more can you ask for? He could be your red king, honey. You could completely invest each other, dance like marionettes in the moonlight. He'll play you with all of his love, yeah, with all of his love. Sisters, left his message and never talked to him again. He's hard to please and he smells like cheese, and unremarkable in the cell. He's a fucking red king fighter, just a miserable nest of problems. Maybe with the fears of memory, could try again, but don't hold your breath. It's not worth your love.
Poor rats.
Poor rats, dude. Ugh. All right. If you were on social media 45 minutes ago, well, more than that now, but you get the idea. I promised a brand new song. I'm pretty sure that only my partner has heard this before, so for many of you, this should be a brand new experience. Hopefully, I do not fuck it up. I've been practicing a lot. This song is called Not You, Guillermo. And it's about how capitalism is like being a vampire.
Oh.
Mesmerized and watch it count again. I'm almost as obsessed as it is by its voice. just to pull my eyes away. Destination and disgust till with dark hands. It whispers in my ear again, promises I know that it won't keep. It's got me working anyway, up all night with it, and I won't sleep. I need a more than a more, I can't know this from my God, I need the money from my body. And I'm so sick and tired of this song that I could song is taking to my heart. And I know, let you know what I'm thinking. I don't know, it's time for a change. It tells me time and time again, someday I'll be just like them, but I won't. And even if they actually would, I'm not buying what they're selling anymore. Of them buyers a parasite, the lobbyists actually shine out life and no good. A businessman's a parasite, but I think I know that. I need another for capitalism like I need the money from my body. And I'm so sick and tired of this song that I could try to take it to my heart. And I know that you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, Mo, it's time for a change. I need another metaphor for capitalism like I need the money from my body. I need another metaphor for capitalism like I need the money from my body. I need another metaphor for capitalism like I need the money from my body. I need another metaphor for capitalism like I need capitalism. I got one left. This song is called Getting Better. And we're still in tune. This is the best the guitar has ever stayed in tune for a show ever. So your house is magical.
Yay! It's because it's full of whale noises.
It's gotta be. It's the only variable. I'll try them out at my next show.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
That's how you have to start every show now.
Geez.
If you just do whale noises,
Yeah.
maybe it'll just stay in tune.
Kip is super over our shit. I'm gonna play this song. My left guitar wasn't free. Like exactly when you say you're all the dumb and can't get you, but you don't associate much these days. But that's alright, we never have much of problems anyways. Well, I'm getting better all the time. I'm getting better all the time. I'm getting better all the time. Woo! My last singer was a jerk, as if he was such a gift to all that nothing knowing he was such a jerk. I'm not acknowledging that body. I wouldn't bother with him if he walked by. Well, I'm getting better all the time. 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 I'm getting better all the time.
Yay!
Oh,
Cue whale
watching.
noises.
You well noises.
After a short break, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. Enjoy the intermission music, which is Kip's old band, Gimme Crack. No, it's not. I
No,
lied. That's next week. I'm a week ahead.
Jeez.
Pause. It's from Indiana. They're the Coneheads. Anyways, stay tuned, enjoy the music, and we'll be back with an interview. Okay, thanks, bye!
Out of my control. Can't be straight. Straight up. No mind. No time. Out of my control. Can't roll. Can't breathe right. Out of my control. Out of my face. Straight up. No mind. No time. Out of my control. It's out of my control. You think you can live 'cause you were brave, while the thinking of the day of life of violence. Look in the mirror and never speak. Are you afraid of your life next to that? You don't even know who the fuck I am. You're running just to make it fun in hell. You don't even know who the fuck you are. You probably think I'm thinking about someone else. And if you think that you're helping, got another thing coming, and I'm hoping that thing is dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone seems to have got it. What a word to say. When you lose this one to lying, I am on the edge of my seat. My brain says that it is warm and my hands are cold with white. I just die today and I smell like fire.
place like that. I want to grab and knife and go right that out. One, two, 10 packs. I am not in denial.
Hey, guess what? We're live.
Hey, guess what? It's Jess, the Ska Kid. It's Wednesday night. We're at the B&B, and with us for the interview portion of the show, same person, same human being, Punk Rocketeer joins us from Stevens Point. So, first and foremost, you introduced yourself as what, a punk rock supervillain?
Yeah, yep, punk rock supervillain.
So, what is it that you're out there fucking up?
It not so much fucking up as much as it is like I look at the world around me and I see all these people who tell you that they are good, and they're the good guys that are taking food out of people's mouths and dumping oil in the water and doing all that really awful shit. So I figure if those are the good guys, then I'm not one of them.
The juxtaposition between what is truly good or intrinsic and evil, yes?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, did you craft your mask?
Partly. So I had somebody create the most of the mask for me. I used to have a mouthpiece. I used a tool to grind all that out, and I gave it its very own coat of paint. So like the paint is all me. Just the mask, the base mask itself was the only part that I did not do.
But that's really cool.
Thank you.
How did you come up with this persona? How long have you been the Punk Rocketeer?
So I've been performing as the Punk Rocketeer for I think just about 2 years now.
Okay.
It comes from like my love of comics. The Rocketeer is a character in he's a comic book character. There was a Disney movie at one point, and one day it just kind of like hit me like, oh, the Punk Rocketeer, and I started using that for like video games when you have to like make accounts for video games.
Okay.
And then 2 years ago I was like, idiot, you could use that to perform. So now here we are.
So prior to performing as the Punk Rocketeer, were you in other bands, and this is where the question is going, did you make a jump to being solo, or just because 2 years ago everybody shut down, you went like, I'm gonna do this? Or how did your how'd that work? And are you in other groups?
Yeah. So I've always kind of flirted with being like a solo artist. Never really did anything seriously, never like recorded myself. There was like a summer where I worked as a lifeguard at a camp.
Cool.
And then kind of doubled as like the camp musician. And that was fun, but that was probably the closest I ever got.
You didn't get kicked out for playing your songs around the campfire?
And actually it was a Bible camp, so I had to learn a lot of like Jesus-y songs too, just to keep people happy. But
okay.
They would let me play my originals also. Although granted, back then they were different originals. Like the stuff that I've written for tonight it's all stuff within like the past 2 years. Yeah, I've been in other bands. I don't think I can talk about them though, because I don't want to give away my super secret identity. But I will say, like, the reason that I finally like took the dive and like started doing like solo folk punk for real was because I have a buddy in Stevens Point called Johnny Descent, and I've always really admired him. And one day I was just like, do you think I should do it? And he said, yes, absolutely. So that was the kick in the ass I needed.
Wonderful. I asked because it seems that you have musicians who either for some rhyme or reason have always flirted with it and then need that kick in the ass to do it themselves. And I noticed that, or we noticed even on this show within the past few years, there's been a lot more, I would say, confidence building, or maybe just out of necessity. People are like, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself because that's what the landscape is currently. So with that kind of being said, and making this, transition into being a solo artist, do you have things recorded, and have you done that yourself, or do you go someplace to have it done? And how often do you play out?
Yeah. I think a lot of what you just said is absolutely true. The pandemic especially kind of forced us to do things in a different way, and keep ourselves occupied while we were all stuck inside. So I do think it was born partially out of that, but also I think the other thing that's nice for me too is like when you play in a band,
very frequently you're not the only voice in that band.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something kind of freeing about having a solo project where you have all of the creative control and it's your show. I like both, but you know, on the days that like I'm tired of my band members' shit, I can. No, I'm just kidding. I love my band members. They're probably watching this.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. They've all
They're making whale. You can't hear that.
Fuck that
The
guy.
pod's upset. Whale joke.
But yeah, to answer your other question, I do have stuff recorded. So Johnny Descent and I, shortly after me like doing the thing, like I had a couple songs and he was also ready with a couple songs. So we put out a split. And that's called Good Water Tower versus Evil Water Tower.
Is that what you sent us and we played back?
Yeah, yep, back the first time that I was not on this show. Yeah, that's what you guys played.
Yeah. We had just finished working out then too. There's a theme.
Yeah, that's right.
I was sweaty and I was all red and I was like, fuck it. And people were like, she's like half naked. And it's too cold for that tonight.
No, yeah, I agree.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're totally good. And then I did finally release like a completely solo double album actually called Punk Rock Supervillain. That it's a true double album, well, kinda, where like the one album is imaginings of the song where like it's a full band,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other half is like more like true to the performance, it's all like acoustic. And 100% of that, yeah, I've done by myself. Recorded it in my basement, and played most of the instruments. I've gotten a couple friends to help me, like when there was extra instrumentation. The bass on Punk Rock Supervillain was done by the bassist in my band, one of my other bands, and I got some guest vocalists and some guest instrumentalists on it too. They're all credited on the album, but they're all super cool individuals, and I'm really happy with how that album turned out.
Wonderful. So, playing on the fact that, you know, you are this supervillain, who is your arch nemesis? What are you fighting?
Nazis.
Okay.
Which is, if you're not like a super comic book nerd, one of the things that I have like a point of pride for me is the Rocketeer also fought Nazis. So yeah. I am like him in that we both fight Nazis.
Wonderful. Are there a lot of Nazis in Stevens Point?
Not so much. I mean, I guess it depends on if you want to split hairs or not. There's a lot of Proud Boys, and we had like a Black Lives Matter rally. You had those jackasses running around in pickup trucks.
I think they count as Nazis.
Then yeah, absolutely.
We got some of those here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They're
most
everywhere.
of Kenosha.
It's a pandemic.
It is, right? How did stupidity there was a whole thing done that kind of explained how Nazism was so well thought out that they thought of this future plan, and that's why after World War II, they disappeared to Argentina where they could lay low and then slowly rebuild by sending out different messages to different parts of the world to form different tight sects, basically, so that it could just have a resurgence everywhere. And you're seeing it in Russia, and you're seeing it here with our Proud Boy movement. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God!
Well, and all the parallels with like the Trump
It's horrible.
administration, like all the things that he did, that everybody was just like, Hitler did the same thing.
Yes, and yeah, so it's like how the Rat King, right?
Yeah, that was a song.
Yeah. Anyways, so where does your inspiration for your music come from?
That's a great question.
Do you have a muse?
I really use this project to be a platform to talk about social issues. Like you can't see my face, but you can tell by my hue that I am a person of privilege. And so as much as I possibly can, I like to shed light on things that I think are bullshit.
Good. Do you get any pushback from that? From performing out where you are? Are people like, fuck you?
No, not too often. I think mostly I tend to preach to the choir, I think.
Okay.
I've never really gotten called out by anybody.
Well, that's
comforting. But, if that day ever comes, maybe I'll actually, get to punch a Nazi for real.
Right. Do you have bail money though? Do supervillains have to have bail money?
Probably. I'm kind of like one of the D-list like supervillains.
You haven't yet made it. Would you ever wear a cape?
Did you not see The Incredibles? You don't wear capes.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna be really blunt and honest. I don't really follow superhero anything.
You don't wear capes.
Never
you get
wear capes.
Sucked in a jet
Yeah.
turbine.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know.
Go explode. No good. It's no
Anyway, want to ask me questions about whales? Anyway,
That's a different Disney movie.
it is. It actually is a documentary they did.
Oh.
But if we're talking about Nazis, I don't know about Walt Disney. I mean, like, he's built his whole thing on what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I get a little like, should I really support
Cryogenic
this?
freezing.
However, their new movie they came out with, what is that? Strange World?
Yeah.
Is first off, it's beautiful.
It's very imaginative, yeah.
And the whole idea that we live, like, they're trying to be super inclusive, which is okay, great. But really, the whole storyline, the Earth being on a turtle, is Hindu beliefs, which I thought was like, wow, Disney, way to go. So
Yeah, every once in a while they do something kind of cool.
yeah,
And it's one of those things where it's just like, you know that you should hate it, but it's hard.
right. Yes, a conundrum. That's the definition of a conundrum. So, with you sitting and recording in your basement, where have you published any of your music? Is it available anywhere? Where
Yeah.
can people find you?
Yep. It's up on streaming services. It's on Bandcamp. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I never use it. TikToks are hard.
Why are they hard? I don't have TikTok. I don't know what.
It's just energy sapping. Like, you're lucky to get like a small percentage of views, and after you do that enough times in a row, you're just like, this isn't working. This isn't fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just bored and done. For a younger, more sped up audience.
Probably.
So with making your music and recording and publishing it yourself, do you have any merchandise? And if so, do you make that as well, or do you partner with other people?
I end up partnering with other people. I do have merchandise, yeah. DIY is very cool. I at least try to support like smaller companies. Like if you guys know it, like Black Market Inc. did my shirts, and they turned out really, really cool. And those guys are local.
Are you wearing one of your shirts?
No, this shirt just says "The world is fucked" or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, it does say that.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Buttons I ordered from, I don't remember. I've got buttons, I've got stickers, I got, most of the usual stuff. And yeah, I try to be as local as possible with it all as I can, because yeah, for the most part, I can't do it by myself.
Do people?
I make the art though.
You make the art?
Yes.
Okay. So you make the music, you make the art. Good. And then I'm guessing you book all your own stuff too. Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, like every once in a while, somebody will reach out to me and be like, "Hey, would the Punk Rocketeer like play this show?" But for the most part, yeah, it's me kicking down doors and being like, "I would like to play at your place."
Is it easy or difficult to get shows?
I don't think it's any more difficult for me than it is for anybody else. Like the mask and being anonymous isn't necessarily, it's not a hindrance, nor is it a help per se.
Okay.
So like playing at places, the more following you've got, the more people know who you are, have heard of you, have heard good things. Like that, I think that's probably the main thing that you need.
So with this kind of being still a new type of project, how often have you played, and do you have any upcoming shows?
I do not have any upcoming shows. Oh no, I do have an upcoming show. I've got one in March. I'm playing in Stevens Point with a band out of Madison called Fingerless, and I'm very excited about that because she and I have talked a bit, and I think that I haven't actually met her in person yet, so I think that that's going to be really, really cool. And then I try to play as much as I can. Last August I went on tour, and that was really, really cool. We toured the whole Midwest, played almost a show a night. We only had one night where we like couldn't find a show, so that was like our only break the entire time. Played 10. It was 10 days straight.
Where did you go?
Oh, all over. We went as far west as North Dakota.
Oh,
We went as far east as like Michigan and Ohio, and I think like Indiana was as far south as we went.
wow.
I don't know if I'm not the best at geography.
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Oh.
I don't know if the audience heard it.
Mm.
It was a basketball score.
Swish.
Who's playing tonight? I forgot.
Foul.
You played.
I do not play basketball. I quit basketball in high school after 2 years because I didn't like how competitive our coach was for a small school that lost every game. You know.
Okay. I played softball in middle school, and I
Yeah.
quit that because the coach was scary as hell, and I didn't think it was appropriate for a grown-ass man to be screaming
It's just unreasonable.
at little kids. Like, we're little kids. So I don't have that drive. I don't feel like that builds character. I feel like that does more damage to
Oh, yeah.
people. So with that, music it is.
Yes, absolutely.
So I know that when you got here, our children asked, what do you play and how many instruments do you play? And you played guitar tonight, but you had answered in response to them a lot of things. So what do you play?
Yeah, so I went to school. I was going to be a band teacher. So I graduated with a bachelor's in music education.
Awesome.
They, at least at the school I went to, they made you learn, at least like get your hands on everything. So I have picked up, and played saxophone and clarinet and trombone and trumpet and tuba and all the violins in that family and all the percussion and all the, what am I forgetting? Oh, like the flutes and the oboes and the bassoons.
You've played oboe and bassoon?
Yes, not well, but I have played them.
It's hard.
Yeah, you spend for each group, we spent a semester, and so that semester of flute, oboe, and bassoon, I guess about a month playing each one.
Wow.
Yeah, those instruments are tough. Super, lots of respect for people that can play them well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mainly trumpet when I was going to school. A lot of the brass instruments are close enough that I can play them pretty good. And then I can play drums, and I can play guitar, and I can play bass.
So with that drive to want to be a music teacher, were you in band as a kid?
Oh yeah,
Okay, what was your first instrument?
trumpet.
Okay. Cool. Our child plays euphonium, and I don't know. I would say if we were playing super villains and heroes, trumpets are her villains. She can't stand them. I don't know what her deal is, but
All trumpet players are super obnoxious.
that's what they say.
They have giant egos.
And I was friends with a lot of trumpets because I thought that they were a cool instrument.
I mean, I like trumpet, but I'm just acknowledging, how many trumpet players does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just one, but he'll tell you how everybody else did it wrong.
Oh. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Do you have any ska jokes?
Yeah. Although this is super old, so they probably heard it already. But how many ska band members does it take to screw in a light bulb?
And to drop it, and 7 more to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Yeah, that was gonna be my joke too.
That's a classic.
It is a classic.
What's the difference between a saxophone and a chainsaw?
I don't know.
You can tune a chainsaw.
Oh. You can tune a saxophone.
I know, it's a joke.
So I mean,
Sticks.
from I guess from being what happened from band to here.
Governor Walker happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. No, he he cut a lot of funding, and band teachers are get the shaft first. At least I guess I shouldn't necessarily I don't know if other teachers also had it hard, but band teachers when I was graduating, if you worked in one school, that was a miracle. If
Yes.
you worked full time, that was a miracle. Most band teachers, they work in multiple schools and probably at part time.
Yes.
which is just, I was like, no thanks. Not for the amount of work that you're going to want me to do and the extra, all the pet band you're going to want me to do.
There's a lot that goes into being a band teacher. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, 12-hour days regularly.
You're always on.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be because, yeah. And I mean, like, I was a band kid and now I'm a band parent. So I totally understand because, like, it's how many days? It's like almost 3 or 4 days a week that we're doing something band.
I mean, it's, in high school, it's worse because you got like football games and basketball games and all that crap.
But at that point, maybe they have friends to take them.
Well, okay, yes.
I'm hoping. You better make some friends, damn it. Just kidding. But, kind of with that, and I know that you played a new song for us tonight, and you said that you'd only played it for your partner. Is your family supportive of your music?
Yeah, for the most part. Like, both my brothers, my one brother, I have 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. Both brothers play a lot of instruments. My sister does like karaoke at bars, so like we're all pretty musical in some way, shape, or form. My brother's in other bands. The second brother mostly just kind of like plays at home, but still appreciates it. Both of them will come out to shows regularly.
Nice.
My sister lives a little too far away, but I would imagine she'd probably try to make it to some if she wasn't, if she was closer and not as busy.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, though, honestly, like she supports me. She's like the best mom that somebody who's in a band could ask for because she is guaranteed to like all of my posts and comment on most of them.
Aww.
Even though she's, I think, maybe listened to my songs once total.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. She might be watching now if she's not asleep. I don't know.
That's nice. Tell us about your new song.
Yeah.
Like, you heard it here first. That's awesome.
Hopefully you liked it. So not you, Guillermo. That's a reference to What We Do in the Shadows because I like that show.
Yes.
I didn't know if everybody would get that. And yeah, so I mean, I've been tossing around. I think like for my next album, I want to do like a concept album.
Okay.
Kind of like based on monsters. I don't want to give too many details away because
I like where it's going though.
Yeah. Based on monsters, and so like I had the idea that like capitalism is a lot like vampirism.
Yeah.
And the song basically wrote itself.
Very cool.
I stole the rhythm pattern from Pigeon Pit.
Okay. So as you actually were playing some of your music, it threw me back to like listening to like Wheatus.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, oh wow. Yeah, so a little bit.
My partner's a huge Wheatus fan.
I had their album and listened to it like non-stop every night to go to bed for like probably 3 months after getting it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes. So, and recently a friend posted that they went to a Come As You Are like teenage dirtbag party. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And it made me think of Wheatus too. So anyway, yeah. Right. I'm not going to sing.
Please don't.
Why?
Little teenage dirtbag.
Yeah.
Baby.
I love that song. Well, I know that we're close to wrapping up, and I know that you have a very long drive home. So in conclusion, again, plug your show in March.
Yep, that's March 17th. And if you're in the Stevens Point area, it's at a place called Pete's Pub and Grill or Bar and Grill, whichever it is. I don't remember which. It's the only Pete's in town, though, so you'll find it.
Eat corned beef out of your partner's face, punch a Nazi, and listen to folk punk.
Yeah. I don't know what else to add to that. That was perfect.
I've done all of those things. Anyways, March 17th, next show. Also, where can people find you once more?
Yep, find me on Facebook and Instagram. Listen to my stuff on Bandcamp or streaming if that's your thing.
And buy your stuff?
My stuff, yeah. Although you got to come to a show to do it.
You don't have it posted on Bandcamp?
That's a lot of work.
Stop.
I know I should.
Oh, don't be lazy.
It's hard.
Is it?
Lazily evil.
I was gonna have a cause, but then this kitty was like really comfy and snuggly. So I thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was great.
I hope that you come back because I think it would be fun to throw you on a few shows that, you know, Kenosha has a few bands here that I think you'd go well with.
Cool.
Which we, after the show, I can message you a few people you should connect with as far as like going on tour and setting up other places around
That would be
Wisconsin.
cool.
And next week we have Midnight Crow coming on the show, and next week the intro music is Kiff's former band Gimme Crack and my former band Humbug, and when I played with Republicans on Welfare. So you can catch that music next week here
That'll be
on Jess the Ska Kid.
That'll be a treat.
It will be a treat. Anyways, without further ado, good night, good evening. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Don't be a rat king. Fuck capitalism.
Well, adieu, auf Wiedersehen.
Adieu.
There it is.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Oh.